Chando's house church, and the original token white guy. This trip was focused on interacting with the refugees, listening to their incredible stories and their journeys. And we kind of helped to distract the kids and the young adults while Pastor David and Miss Eileen ministered to the refugees. This was probably one of the better mission trips that I've been on. Lots of prayer, lots of laughter, and spiritual healing, which I will talk about later. Before we talk about spiritual healing, let's talk about what I thought was failure. Let's take a step back, and I'll tie all this in a little bit later. Sorry, nervous. So about 20 years ago, I was a shepherd. I know, crazy, right? And how I became a shepherd was hilariously wild story. I'll save that for another time. I was a shepherd for something like 5 or 6 years. Towards the end was really hard for me, very difficult. A few unique things that happened in my house church. There was a kiddo that died. Very arrogant people that thought other ministries other than house church was more important. And we were just a bunch of members. Very dysfunctional, arguments, typical fights, a typical house church, right? I remember talking to Pastor Tay about the time, about wanting to give up. And he said something towards the fact of, you shouldn't dissolve, you should stick out. I think P said something similar. I don't remember. It's been a while. I gave my house church an opportunity to stay or leave. I let them fast for 30 days, and then we came back sorry, I'm all messed up. Let them fast and pray for 30 days, and then come back together and talk about what God has revealed to you. So naturally, after those 30 days, everyone in the house church said, let's dissolve. We're done. I give up. Peace out. Except for David Yoon. He was the only one that said, let's stay, for some reason. If you see David Yoon and wonder why he's so messed up, that was me. I'm bad. So we dissolved, and people went separate ways to different house churches. Over time, one by one, people left the church. And now some people are, from what I hear anyway, are not doing well spiritually. I think David Yoon is the only one from my original house church that is still at New Life. From that decision years ago to dissolve, I always felt terrible. I had this sense of shame and guilt from that decision. And in my head, in the back of my head, I always thought maybe I led people astray. Maybe that's why they fell away from church. Maybe that's why they fell away from Christ. I never really talked about this to anyone. I kind of buried it, forgot about it, moved on. But there was always this heaviness in my heart because of that. Some time went by, and I joined Caleb's house church, the other tall white guy. And I remember Caleb and Ewan asked me a few times to the effect of, would I like to become a shepherd? Would I like to become an intern? I always responded with absolute no. I gave them various reasons. They were all kind of BS reasons, but the real reason was I was scared. I was afraid of leading people astray again, afraid of failing people, afraid of failing God. I couldn't do it. Weight was too heavy. So I say all this because all these feelings, all these thoughts were triggered because of this mission trip. Thanks, y'all. Why this mission trip? No idea. God's perfect timing, right? Yeah, so on this mission trip, there was many small conversations. This trip was ironically coincide with a shepherd's conference when we got back. So I think some of that helped drive a lot of these conversations. I remember this one conversation that I was having with Danny and Pastor David while we were painting and building. A side note, I think we probably did more harm than good painting this building. We were terrible. Anyway, we talked about many things on things like shepherding, past pains, experiences, and then how all this stuff led to me here now, right? This, for some reason, talking with Danny and Pastor David in this beautiful venue, just helped kind of sharing about it, just helped lift this weight off my heart, off my chest, so I can finally feel like I can heal and grow without regret, doubt, and fear. Almost done. Okay. Now, if someone asks me to be a shepherd again or an intern, I can now safely say maybe. And, hold on. Oh, yeah. And it's a good thing that this is not being recorded, and Chan is not here to hear this. Oh man, I'm done for now. The theme of this trip was Colossians 2:6-7. So then, just as you receive Christ Jesus as Lord, continue to live your lives in Him, rooted and built up in Him, strengthened in faith and faith as you're taught, and overflowing with thankfulness. And God showed me exactly this on this trip. Much like the refugee stories that we encountered, their lives are filled with pain, endurance, and constant search for hope. Their journeys have not been easy, but through suffering, hope, and their suffering, hope has been their compass. Sometimes quiet, sometimes burning bright, but always guided. We didn't do much. What we offered was something very small, but in the vastness of God's story, even the smallest contributions mattered. A simple smile, a moment of presence, a gesture that seems very insignificant, but that became an inflection point in someone's journey. Through God, those points echoed far beyond us. They became sparks. They became drivers of hope, and that in a humble way, we got to play a small part, however small, in His greater narrative. Thank you.